What's up? What's up? It's your boy Corey B. So I'm coming at y'all early this morning. I wanted to elaborate and kind of touch a little on the post, my previous post, just about being a nation of victims, and I just feel like, man, this is just something. It's something that I've really had on my heart, and something I've had on my mind a lot, and it's something that I just feel like it just truly takes a whole lot to truly unpack where my thoughts are and how I see things. And as I mentioned before, I feel like I probably there's probably some of y'all who didn't watch to the end of my last post, and for me, I feel like that's kind of unfortunate, because I feel like I have a good message, and I feel like I'm doing this for the right reasons. And so if y'all got offended or bothered or whatever, and y'all didn't watch to the end of my last post, I truly hope you'll take a moment and go back and really let it just soak in and just marinate on it a little bit. But anyways, like I said, I wanted to follow up because I feel like, those who did watch to the end, by the end of the video, my man Colton was really trying to get my attention. I was really just trying to finish my train of thought before I lost it. But normally when I'm just talking about other things that aren't quite as heavy, y'all have seen me before, I'll just stop and totally just talk to him and just let it happen right in the middle of the video. I don't care. But I was really just trying to finish my thought process, and I feel like I had more to say though, and I feel like I got so focused on what I was saying that that I didn't unpack everything that I wanted to say. I think that happens to all of us sometimes when it's stuff that's particularly heavy or just difficult to talk about. And so, like I said, I wanted to elaborate a little bit more about this and just that sun today. I just wanted to talk about. Like I said, I'm not saying that we are becoming a nation of victims in any way, trying to attack anybody or say anything negative about any of y'all. And I don't want to belittle the conflicts that people have had, because some of these things, they're so horrific and so terrible that in no way do I want to come off as that I don't care, or that just because I'm a white man and I've never firsthand, I've witnessed a lot, over the years. I've witnessed a lot of people having gone through a lot of things, people that were close to me and stuff like that. But firsthand having that oppression on me, that hasn't happened. And I'm fully aware of that. Growing up, I grew up in South Texas, and I knew a lot of people from different nationalities, different religions, and I always just thought it was cool. I thought it was just interesting that they knew different things than I knew. They could tell me about different things that I didn't know about. I didn't take it so seriously. I mean, as a kid, different religions were that was just different. They just studied a different book, or maybe they studied the Bible that I studied, but they studied a different perspective, or they had a book that went in addition to the Bible. They had another book also, things like that. Like I didn't understand it was so serious as a kid. I thought it was cool that other people had different things, and I realized, as I've grown up and as I've become an adult, and I realized that it's much more serious than that. But at the same time, we live in America, and we're supposed to be, God. Like if you're a Christian, if you're a Christian and you believe, God gave you free will, and, people constantly want to, get out there and talk about their rights. What's owed to them? Well, that's, man, people's rights is a whole nother topic in itself. I got some feelings about that, but just the idea of, Christianity, and being a Christian and going to say that we have, free will. Like, we know that God gave us free will. God did not, God could have forced us. God could have, empowered it upon us to serve Him, to love and adore Him, and to praise and worship Him, but He didn't. He gave us free will. We choose to follow God. And other people of other religions, or other people who just lack any faith in any higher power, that's their right to choose. God gave them, just like God gave us, free will. And we live in America where we encourage people to have their right to choose. So if we're going to encourage people to have the right to choose, and we're going to be a Christian and accept the fact that, God gave us free will, then we need to act like it. People, as I mentioned in my last post, I feel like social media has become, instead of a tool to help us connect better with one another who are in different cities, different states, have easy ways. When Facebook started, Zuckerberg started it as a tool to help one of his classes so they could stay connected. They could share notes and syllabus and things like that. And it was for a project for class. And then they offered it to students, in any university across the country. And then it just became such a popular thing. And they realized how much they could use it for. And now people don't use it for the tool of information to help share information, to help stay connected, no, they don't use it to help. They use it to fuel their hate, their frustration, their anger towards one another. They use it as a platform, and then they think they have the right to make it their platform. There's a reason, any of y'all that know me personally, I don't ever post pictures of my boys on Facebook, because it's in the fine print of Facebook that any content that you post on Facebook, you make a live feed directly on Facebook, you share a link to YouTube, or you share a link to your website or whatever, that is a link, that is different. But if you post something directly on Facebook, a picture, or you put a live video feed directly on Facebook, Facebook owns that property. You're on their platform. When you signed up for a Facebook account, none of y'all read. I guarantee most of y'all didn't read. I didn't read at first. I didn't read till later. One of my friends told me, "Hey, Corey, you realize blah, blah, blah." And I went back and read. I was like, holy crap, that's real. It's like, it's true. Facebook, when you signed up for your account, you agreed. It was one of the many things you agreed to, that any content you post is not your content. It becomes property of Facebook. But then people want to get mad. Facebook deleted my post. They own it. It ain't yours. It is not yours. It is not yours. If you posted it on Facebook, it ceased to be yours. So the reality is, they could take your post and they could delete it if they just want to delete it. Or they could take your post and turn it into propaganda nonsense and use it as a marketing tool for whatever kind of nonsense they want to use it for. Facebook has the right to do anything they want with what you post on their platform. It's not your platform, it's theirs. Okay, so I don't want to make this all about Facebook, but a lot of it has to do with Facebook. Twitter, Instagram, there's so many social media platforms. People have even, began to turn TikTok into a platform. But so many different avenues. These are not owned by you. Some of these people, they give you some limited rights to your account, but most of them still maintain some control because it is theirs. It is owned by them. It is not owned by you. Now you can get on anywhere and build your own website. You can get on, you can get on GoDaddy, buy you a domain, build your website, and you could have your own platform. You could be a brainiac guy and build your own server, but that's a whole nother level. Ultimately, as long as you're counting on someone else for a platform, then you're gonna lack a little bit of control. If you want to gain all the control, and this is going out to any of y'all out there, no matter what you're being oppressed by, whether you're oppressed by the fact that you are posting Black Lives Matter, or you are posting Christian posts that people don't like, or you are posting anti-Christian posts, if you are posting, it doesn't, Democrat posts, Republican posts, Trump posts, it doesn't matter. Like it really, really, really does not matter. Now there's there's some warnings on Facebook and on most of these platforms. There's warnings about posting hate speech and directly attacking cyberbullying, stuff like that. Yeah, there's some provisions for certain content, and the reality is, yes, some content will slip through the cracks. It won't get deleted when it should. And that's sad, it's unfortunate, but you're talking about millions of people that are on a platform. And the staff, there's only so many staff to monitor it. And when it comes down to it, I learned from, I have a couple of friends who have worked for social media networks. I'm not going to start putting too many. I've already mentioned multiple platforms, but I'm not trying to attack any one platform. But I know I've got a couple of friends who have worked for platforms, and literally, at least one of the platforms, I know for a fact that when you flag something as whatever, you flag it to be reviewed or to report it, that they literally just immediately, they have, it's like programmed. It instantly deletes. It removes it. It's like their own, like, cover their butt situation. They're like, we don't have the time to monitor and review everything, so it was reported, therefore it was deleted. I had to explain this to a family member who, it was really sad. They were posting some just comments about, they had posted some comments, just family nonsense. It was literally nothing that could be offensive in any way, but about twice a day for a week, they were having posts being removed. And I'll just go out on a limb here and tell you, this person doesn't subscribe to a political party that they put out on their social media platforms. They also don't put their religious affiliation on there. They don't put much that could be really controversial. Every now and then they use some colorful language, but nothing really that bad. And the posts that were moved didn't have any language in it. And I had told them about what was going on, and they finally they put a post on there, and because they had their account also set to private, so it wasn't like a random person. It was literally somebody that they had become friends with. Friends, yeah, we call them friends on your Twitter friends, your Instagram friends, your Facebook friends. But it was literally someone who they were followed by, that they apparently had offended at some point about something. And so because they had offended them, they started going through and on a daily basis for about a week, just started flagging stuff of theirs. And they were getting a bunch of their content deleted. And it was about nothing. Their content was about nothing. They finally posted a post and said, look, if I've offended you, my account's to private. Please just unfriend me. Stop following me. Don't be on my profile anymore. And you won't have to see any of it because, I wasn't trying to offend you, but I'd really like my content to stop being deleted. So just stop following me and you won't see it anymore. And it's like, it's sad that's where things have gone. Things have gotten to a point that people are just ugly. People use social media as a form of attack rather than a tool of connection. They use it as a tool of attack. People get on there to boast about their platform, to not just, stand firmly on what they believe in, because, you got to have some kind of level of respect for someone who's respectfully firm in their own beliefs. Good for you. You believe what you believe, and you have your opinions about religion, politics, just whatever, different things in our society. And good for you that you're gonna stand on that. You have your feelings about racial inequality. As long as you're being respectful, why not? Why not be able to post those things? But see, we've gotten to the point where people are not getting online and on their social media to post their support and information of the things that they believe in, but instead they get on there vengefully and, nastily attack the other side. Not promote their side, promote their stance, but attack the other side. Attack someone who believes different. Attack let's defund the police because a cop killed a man. A cop killed a black man. A cop killed an unarmed, detained black man. Therefore, that was such an egregious, horrific incident. Let's just take away police funding. Let's get rid of the cops. Because that's going to go so well when, it's going to go so well when you need a police officer to intervene. And that's just an example. But that's where we're going. That's where we've been for a while now, to be honest. We've gotten to the point that social media is a tool. It's not a tool, though, utilized properly. It's not a tool. It's like using a hammer to beat somebody down. Hammer wasn't designed to beat on people. A hammer was designed to build, to create, to construct. A hammer is such a cool tool. Like, a hammer is like, it's like, as a child, as a kid, I look at my little boys right now. They just turned 6 and 7 last week. Yeah, those of y'all who don't know, Colton is 3 days, exactly 3 days short of being a year younger than Corey. I was trying to say that correctly. He was born 3 days before Corey's first birthday. And so Tuesday, Colton turned 6 and Corey turned 7 on Friday. So it was super awesome. But I've been watching them for like the last couple of years. They get so excited. They go digging in the garage, digging in my tools. I've literally brought them home scraps of wood and stuff from jobs that I've done and projects that I've worked on and things like that. And they will turn it into all kinds of cool stuff. And it's really just great. But the fundamental, the first tool you ever, just can't wait to get your hand on is a hammer. Is a hammer. But as an innocent child, when you get your hands on a hammer, you use it to build. Use it to create. You can't wait to do something awesome for mommy. You want to do something beautiful for mommy. You want to be like, look, I'm going to build mommy a shelf, a plaque, a picture, but you're going to build it. You're not just going to draw a picture. You're going to build. So you got to like put some nails in a piece of wood before you paint it, whatever. It's like you're building. You're building. That's. And then you can't wait to show off to dad that, hey dad, look, I've seen you build something and look what I can build. It's such a beautiful, pure, just incredible thing. And I think the tools in our society are like that hammer. A lot of tools. I mean, obviously there are some tools that were designed and built by ugly, wrongly motivated people, and they were built for bad. But I think true inspiration, and maybe this is me being naive, maybe this is me being gullible, maybe this is me wanting to see the best, but I think when God sparks inspiration and when true creation comes about and we come up with a new tool in our society, I don't believe that tool was thought about to do harm. I think it was initially thought about to do something good from a pure and innocent and just a beautiful God-inspired place, and then it falls in the wrong hands at some point. I want us to get back to that innocence, that purity, and see the tools that we have before us and figure a way to use them to really make a difference, to really make a change, to build things up rather than break things down. You can, I've done demo work before, and you can use a hammer to tear things down, and it's fun. It can be fun in a moment to demolish something, but there is nothing like truly seeing something new and beautiful being built. Let's stop tearing one another down. Let's start building each other up. Facebook initially was designed. I don't know the true origin of Twitter. I don't know the true origin of Instagram. To be honest, I just don't. But I do know that Facebook was designed to help people who were actually furthering their education. It was to help. It was actually spawned from a somewhat selfish, but he didn't just do it for him. He did it for his classmates also, which to me, that's the purity of it. Is he built it to help himself, to help them be able to better stay connected and to get through their studying and everything for their course. And Facebook can be used for such amazing things right now. You can use it to get in touch with your cousins, your family. I'm connected with family right now that without Facebook, I wouldn't have much of a connection with them. And it's unfortunate, but it's just the way it is, There's family that throughout life you just lose connection with, and some of these family members I have gained a connection with because of Facebook, and it's incredible. It's a great thing. That's the beauty that Facebook can offer, and if we just use Facebook for that, then the possibilities are really limitless. There's no limit to what we can do and what we can accomplish, what we can achieve. And if we go back to the simple foundation of sharing God's love, we stop focusing on our platform, stop focusing on changing law, changing policy. Yes, law and policy does need to be changed. Frequently it needs to be changed. But let's start with a basic foundation. It's going to take time. It's going to take time to really change a policy. It's going to take time to change a law. So you start implementing things. But in the meantime, let's really, really, let's take a step to show God's love right now, today. Today, show love. and you're a non-believer, you don't believe in God, okay, that's I'm not trying to turn anybody off for saying there's only one way that you can do it, and it's through the love of Christ. Absolutely, man, God, the love of God can do things that I can't do. But you know what? Believe in your fellow man. Believe in your fellow man. Believe in your fellow man's right to be a person. For their right to be a citizen who thinks differently than you. Their right to have the same freedom that you have. So you're a non-believer. That doesn't mean you can't do this same thing that I can do. You can do just as much as I can do. You can do just as much as I can do. So get out there today and start showing some love to one another. Let's love our fellow man. Let's love our neighbor. Let's start making a difference. Let's start making a change. Let's stop being a victim who I've been held back, so therefore I'm angry and I'm going to continue to be bitter and nasty about the fact that the governor that I wanted to be the governor ain't the governor. The president I wanted ain't the president. The mayor isn't the mayor I wanted. The mayor's saying things I don't like. The governor said things I don't. Do you know what Congress said this week? You know what? Okay. They're going to keep doing that. They're going to keep saying things you don't like. They're going to keep offending you. But they are people just like you. Just like you. They may believe differently than you, and they may have different motivations than you. Maybe they're just playing a political game. Maybe they don't even believe the words they're saying. Maybe they're just a puppet or just a pawn. I don't know. At the end of the day, I don't care either. I care about what's really happening, but I'm just going to pray for them. I'm going to pray for those, I'm going to pray for the president. I'm going to pray for Congress. I'm praying for Joe Biden. I'm praying for Kamala. I'm praying for Adler. I'm praying for my city and state officials on a daily basis, because they affect my daily life. They affect what's going on in my kids' school, in the neighborhoods around my kids' school, in the playgrounds and parks. What they choose to develop and choose not to develop, the programs that they implement in my city. These things matter, and when I can, I'm gonna be as involved as I can. I'm gonna become more educated. Every day I fall short. I know I fall short. Life is busy. We all got so much going on. We got so much going on. We got work, we got kids, we got families, we got friends, we got whatever. And right now we got COVID. Oh my gosh, COVID. So we got all this going on, and we got so much bogging us down and weighing us down that we feel like we can't get involved. Well, take a minute. Take a minute. Don't condemn yourself for what you don't know. Don't believe because you got on Facebook you know it either, because you don't. And don't believe that because you got a Google on your phone that you know everything, because I will enlighten you. You do not. Get involved, like actually involved. And like I said, again, right now we're dealing with a pandemic. It's a little bit harder right now, but there are ways to get connected. There's ways to get in touch. There are ways to learn about what's going on in your city, your state, in your nation. Get involved. Find out what's going on. Start talking to people. But talk with respect. Talk with love. Stop condemning those because things didn't go your way. They ain't gonna always go your way. They're just not. Some people want to come back, well, there's a right and a wrong. No. There is a right and a wrong, but sometimes it's not as simple as right and wrong. Sometimes it's not. A lot of times, yeah, there's a lot of right and wrong. There's a lot of right and wrong. And, people, because they believe different things than you believe, they may put into policy or vote for things or put people that ultimately you think are wrong. Or you believe, or maybe you know they're wrong. That's fine. I ain't gonna dispute that you don't know they're wrong. But you ain't going to change them from being wrong by continuing to be nasty and ugly and say, oh, well, it's always unfair that your side always wins. Well, there ain't no one side that always wins. As long as I've been, living this earth, it's flip-flop from side to side so many times, and there's always been different people in power, and there's always going to change to be different people in power. And ultimately, in this great nation, it is mostly not a position of power, but a position of influence. And if you consider influence to be powerful, start being influential. Take the opportunity to become a person of influence. Take the opportunity to step up, and you can be that person who influences somebody. Maybe you don't want to be president. Maybe you don't want to be a congressman or a senator. You don't want to be a politician of any sort. That's fine. Don't be a politician. Be a lobbyist. Go down and start lobbying and figure things out, get things done, and start making some moves and make some change happen. But at the end of the day, start with one step at a time. When you wake up today, when you wake up tomorrow, when you see this video, when you got a second that you pass your neighbor, you see him standing out in his yard, he's taking out the trash, or he's watering his yard, or he's taking the dog for a walk, you share some love. You know that he thinks differently than you do. You know that he's got a different political stance than you do. You know that he loves Biden and you don't. You know that you love Biden and he don't. Just tell him, you know what? It don't matter. I love you, man. I got your back. Right now, we're neighbors and we're in this together. Because if Biden does a bad job, that hurts all of us. I know some people who are like, man, I didn't want Biden in office. Okay, you didn't want Biden in office. That's okay. I ain't mad at you. And they'll sit there and say, well, I didn't want Biden in office, so I hope he does a bad job, so that way everybody can see how a stupid decision this was. Come on, man. Are you going to move out the country? Are you really going to be like, I hope he does a bad job, so that way they know that it's their fault for voting for him? At the end of the day, he's still your president. You're an American. He's your president. You can't change it. You can't change it. I remember people said the same thing about Obama. People said the same thing about Trump. Golly, man, it's like, get over yourself already. They're the president. They're a person of influence. There's a Congress, there's many politicians, and you can get out there and you can get your voice heard and make a difference. But at the end of the day, whether you're a believer or not, man, you better be hoping they do a good job. You better be hoping, instead of hoping they mess up. See, that's the vengeful side. That's the ugly, nasty, vengeful mentality, because you want them to fail so you could be right. So be right. So look, this is the policy that I believe in: A, B, and C. And Biden is for A, but he's against B and C. So what you should be doing is hoping that he's going to wake up and change his mind. That he's going to turn around. That maybe Kamala could help him turn around. Maybe somebody in Congress will help him turn. Maybe somebody in his cabinet. Maybe one day he's just going to wake up and be like, you know what? I got that wrong. Let me tell you why. Let me tell you why I got it wrong. See, you should hope for his success. You should pray for his success, because he is your president. Unless you plan to move out of America and renounce your citizenship, as long as you're an American citizen, that is the president of the United States. Some people like it. Some people don't. At the end of the day, I know where I feel. I'm hoping and praying every day. He does a great job, and he makes some things happen, and that the things that I disagree with him about, I pray he changes his mind, somebody enlightens him, and the things that we agree about, hey man, I hope it happens. I hope it works. I hope he can implement some policies to get those things moving in the right direction. Because at the end of the day, I am an American. At the end of the day, I am a Christian. At the end of the day, I am Corey B, and I love my life. I love my nation. I love God, my family, my children. I want all of these things to be preserved. I want America to still be here and America to be okay. I want my boys to grow up in a great country with, the resources that they need being right there. I want, oh man, I want to be able to walk out and know that whether me and my neighbor, we see eye to eye, that we got mad respect for each other and we love each other. Because at the end of the day, we know we ain't going to be nasty.